We have another Zoodiac deck. Man, I'm just a magnet for seeing this creation. We have Earth Machine and Naturia power. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. Now, my friend actually succeeded on the local level with Zoodiac about a week ago. And then today, I got another DM that said, hey, Robbie, guess what? I just played Zoodiac, and I only had a draw at locals, getting second place. Now, I don't know what it is. People are like, oh, y'all losing to Zeus out here in 2022. Yeah. People are. This deck actually looks like it's a silent sleeper right now. I don't know how relevant that will stick around, but it's interesting to see. So we have triple copies of Dimension Shifter. Yes, the fact that our deck gets away with playing this is beautiful. We have one Pankratops, free special summon real estate. We have triple copies of Space Rock. We have triple copies of Ram, triple copies of Throwblade, and triple copies of Whiptail. Yeah, we're not playing, you know, the Spell Protector, any of that other stuff. These 9 are doing everything that we need. We have one Call by the Grave, one Change of Heart, 2 copies of Tenki. Hey, you know what? You get to trade off one of those bad ones for a Searcher, which is really good. We have triple copies of Chalice, triple copies of Forbidden Droplet, one Arby's Feather Duster, triple Lightning Storm, one Monster Reborn, triple copies of the Mind of the Mystic. We have 2 copies of Pot of Desires, triple copies of Eagle Booster, still best card, one Widow Inky, one Engage, and triple copies of Polymerization. Good stuff. Then we have triple copies of Tiger Mortar, triple copies of Chalconine, triple copies of the reason why this deck gets a chance to do well. We have one Vespinato, triple Zeus, one Starving Venom, and one Garuda. Then we have triple copies of DD Craw, triple copies of the Drone Lockbird, triple Twin Twisties, triple Evenly Matched, and triple copies of Summon Limit. Wrapping up, really, just a good combination of cards to basically devastate the format. And like I said, this deck actually is kind of interesting, seeing that this can do something right now. Next up is Earth Machine. This performed out of a regional this past weekend. I saw this pop up. I was like, really? You know, even though we're in a tier 0 format, we are getting the chance to see some diversity being born here and the card choices and things that other players are doing. And like I said, on the top end of the format here, I think the things are pretty, you know, gloomy. But when you get down into that middle section, you can see the push from pressure here from the surprise element. And I think we're going to continue to see that for a little while. So we have one Ancient Gearbox, triple copies of the Railroad Stampede, one Heavy Train Derrick Crane, we have one Anchor Drill, 2 copies of the Brutal Dozer. We have triple copies of Harvester, 2 copies of Trencher, 1 Tunneler, triple copies of Fenrir. We have 1 Citadel with 1 Fortress. We have triple Metal Cruncher with 1 Bullet Train, triple copies of Regulus, triple copies of the Awakening Forest, triple copies of the Flourishing Hills, triple copies of the Misting Seedlings, and then we have 2 copies of the Thawing Mountains. Then we have triple copies of Heavy Forward. We have triple copies of Machinery Deployment, triple copies of Disc Coliseum, triple copies of Urgent Schedule, and we have 2 copies of good old Machina Overdrive. Then we have 1 Nightmare Phoenix, we have triple Goliath, 1 Anger Knuckler, 1 Ballista, 1 Juggernaut Libby, 1 Gustav Max, 1 Zuberdora, 1 River Stormer, 1 Earth Slicer with 1 Giganix. We have 1 Gaia Dragon, 1 Zeus, and 1 Dingrisu. Then we have triple Earth Barrier Statue. Yeah, we're actually doing this, by the way. First time in quite some time I've seen the deck actually bust out the Earth Barrier Statue. We have 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, triple Dark Hole. We have 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster, triple Silent Graveyard, and triple copies of Skill Drain here. Wrapping up quite a monster for you guys. Like, this deck actually is really cool. Next up is Naturia power, and I will tell you, it takes a special kind of duelist to go through all of the combo lines with this deck, get this deck down, make sure that you are good to go and what you're trying to do. I mean, the power of these 2 cards for recyclability is really what this deck wants to do. Obviously, you know, like you can exchange the spirits, you know, do shenanigans with your opponent, but your value is right here in these 2. So don't underestimate these. Of course, you have your Earth Fairy package in here carrying this, and then, you know, your Negate package all in here so you can do good old loopy loops. So we have 1 copy of Agito, triple copies of Fenrir, 1 copy of Kelbeck, we have triple copies of Keldo, triple copies of Moodora, triple copies of Camellia, triple copies of the Mole Cricket with one Stink Bug, and one copy of Sunflower. We're actually playing one copy of Vera, one copy of the Awakening Forest, triple copies of the Flourishing Hills, and we have triple copies of the Misting Seedlings. Then we have two Foolish Burial Goods, triple copies of Naturia Blessings, triple copies of Pot of Prosperity, one Exchange of the Spirits, one copy of Gravekeeper's Trap, and triple copies of the Sacred Tree. Down here in the extract, we have one Curious, one Soldier of Chaos with one Asa. We have one Almororis, one copy of Baguski, one Gagaga Cowboy, one Exciton Knight with one Zeus, and one Abyss Dweller. Then we have one Trishula, one Naturia Beast, one Barkion, one Draco Berserker, one Quandrax, and one copy of Baron DeFleur. Side deck here we have one Scythe, one Drosworm, triple Magninut with triple 3 big balls, one Change of Heart, triple copies of Lightning Storm, and triple copies of Artifact Sanctum here, wrapping up basically the anti-meta monster of the format. Honestly, I think a lot of people underestimate this card. Like, this whole deck, there's so many cool things to do here. Next up is the Lima, Peru regional winner, playing Exosister. Now, a lot of people I've read and looked at this list, and I've heard a lot of general consensus with there being a lot of weird card choices in here. And I think, honestly, the weird card choices are what's going to win you games. Alright, like, you're going to see a lot of one-ofs down here in the side deck. And being able to, you know, look at those choices and see, oh, you know, like, this is good here, you know, or, you know, this is, in this instance, is what's going to win me a game. Yes, those particular things, those choices are what's going to, you know, win you some games. You never know when you're going to see the off one-of. So we have one Irene, triple copies of Martha, triple copies of Ellis, with triple copies of Stella. We have two copies of Sophia, two copies of Zoroa, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. We have triple copies of Dimension Shifter, one copy of Dimensional Fissure with one Carpe Diem, triple copies of Pax, two copies of Dark Row No More, triple copies of Pot of Prosperity with one Called by the Grave. We have two copies of Returnia, two copies of Vadis with two copies of Evenly Matched. And then we have triple copies of Infinite Permanence here. Down in the next deck, we got the one Daybreaker. Daybreaker has pretty much moved in and has been a mainstay in Exosister for quite some time now, actually. We have one Lina with one Artemis, your one copy of the Nina Ruru. Then we have one Gaga Cowboy, one Zeus, two Magnificas, triple copies of Mikhail's, two copies of the Caspitiel, and then 1 and 1 under Brian and the Osophiel. Then you got one Hadoken, one Feather Duster, one Lightning Storm, two copies of Cosmic Cyclone, your one copy Terraforming, one Set Rotation, your one Necro Valley with your one Secret Village, of course, one Zombie World, one Evenly, your one Appointer, and your triple copies of the Solemn Judgment Protector. Wrapping up, honestly, I think this is fine. I was going to say, like, this people might have a problem with, but cutting back on the two-ofs here, definitely I think makes this a lot more consistent. Next up here is Drytron. Yes, Drytron managed to get third place here at a regional, which was actually kind of nice. Like, deep in the middle of, you know, what's going on in this format here. You know, Drytron rolled up and said, you know what? We're going to do something about this. And they looks like they did a pretty good job. So we have one Lancia with one Diviner, triple copies of Alpha Thuban, triple copies of Delta Altias, triple copies of Gamma Eltanin, triple copies of Albia. Then we have one Herald of Orange Light, one Vanity's Ruler, triple Ben 10, one Natasha with one Draconius. Then we have one Called by the Grave, your triple Cyber Emergency, two Fafnir with triple Nova, one Foolish Barrel, triple Forbidden Droplet, best card, one Arby's Feather Duster, one Instant Fusion, one Matanis Drytron, one Mystic Mine, one Terraforming, and two Talons. Then down here in the extra we have one Link Karibo, one Nightmare Unicorn, one Nightmare Phoenix, one Herald of Mirage Lights, one Boral Sword, one Axis Machine, one Assembled Nightingale, two copies of the Mu Beta Fafnir, one Downard, one Zeus, one Beatrice, with one Herald, one Millennium Eyes, and then we have one Anitis here. Side deck here we have triple Lava Golem, triple copies of Dark Ruler No More, triple copies of Lightning Storm, triple copies of Twin Twisters, and we have triple copies of Solemn Judgment Friend here, wrapping up your chunk of deck profiles for this block. So, what do you guys think about these decks? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I look forward to seeing the rest of your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank Ugh.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.